this all goes back to that all these names, uh, the root of Jesus is all these different names. Iesus, Iesus, all the way go back to Tammuz, who's the same as Baal and Molech, the same deity that the Most High continually told the children of Israel not to worship in the Old Testament. And I mean, even in certain places in the Old Testament, like in Joshua, I believe, what was it? Joshua 11 and 16, Joshua chapter 11, 16 through 17, Joshua 12 and 7, and Joshua 13 and 5. Yeah, where they name a place called Baal God, which literally translates to Lord of Fortune. But if you just want to keep God as it is and translate Baal means Lord. So Lord God, and they replace the name, the Tetragrammaton, which is the four-letter word of the Most High, many different places uh, throughout the entire Bible, and it even tell you that it replaces. I got the New King James Version right here, and it'll tell you look up, and if you go in the back and look up the Y, they show you the Tetragrammaton, and the only entry for Y is Yahweh. That's the only entry, and it show you the Tetragrammaton and tell you that it was replaced wherever you see all capital um in all capital Lord, and or Elohim wherever you see all capital Lord or all capital God. And sometimes that was also the place where you had Elohim, but most of the time where you see either Lord, all capital Lord or all capital God, either by themselves or together, you either have Yahweh or Yahuwah Elohim. I mean, it's just common sense. I mean, Lord God is basically blasphemy. You every time you read that in the book, you call it on Baal, and even in what was it, Isaiah chapter 65, 11 through 12. Isaiah chapter 65, 11 through 12 is talking about Hold on, let me read it to you. I'm quoting all the scriptures. Let me read them to you. Looking at my time. Isaiah chapter 65. Okay. Uh, um, it says, "But you are those who forsake Yahuwah, who forget my holy mountain. You prepare a table for God, G-A-D, because that's how you would spell it in Hebrew. Because the G-O-D in English is pronounced God or God, as you hear all these pastors saying, and it's the same in Hebrew, except they don't have vowel, they didn't use the O, and so it's pronounced the same way as we pronounce God. And who furnish a drink offering for money." Now, when you look at God, that's a forget that. When you look at God, that's a and they translate it as a idol of fortune. Also translated as truth, and money they translate as numbers. But money is spelled M-E-N-E. Uh, money or many. I mean, "But you are those who forsake Yahuwah, who forget my holy mountain, who prepare a table for God, and who furnish a drink offering for money." And I mean, how much literal can you get? He puts it in Hebrew so that you translate it to English, so it sounds the same as the English words, even though the English words will be spelled different. How much more literal can you get? He put the truth right in front of our faces, and we can't even accept it. That's a big reason why I can't be a so-called Christian, because it talks about how you should search for the how in Acts, how the believe it was the Thessalonians or whatever, they search for the truth diligently every day. Search through the scriptures diligently. I believe that's Acts chapter 17 and 11. I mean, That's how you be, and that's how I was. And people got down on me for it and said, "Well, I studied too much and I'm misinterpreting the word." When they didn't, they may read the word once a week, once a month, once every 2 3 months, and don't even study it diligently. Just read a sentence and say, "Okay, that's it." And I mean, it even goes as far as with this Baal God stuff, the God going back to a bunch of roots in German and Persian roots like God, goat, good, gold, um, God, God, all these different roots, and it all back goes back to this Baal God stuff, who's really Lord God or Master God or Master of Fortune, which they call the devil. That's why people go to sell his, they sold to the devil for fortune, at the crossroads. Oh, bingo, the crossroads. If you study voodoo and hoodoo, they got this convention called the crossroad where you go to a crossroad and people sell their souls for fortune. And that's why they use the solar cross, which is the sign of the devil. I mean, come on. The devil is Baal. The devil is the son. That's why they call the Messiah, they call the Messiah Beelzebub, who is the king of the prince of the demons, and said that he cast out demons by demons. This is John 4, John 5:43, I believe. Wait, no, I think John 5:43 talks about that. I come in my own, I come in the name of the Father, but if one comes in his own name, you accept him, and that's just what he did. Baal God came in his, or Lord God came in their own name. Satan masquerading as Jesus came in his own name, but Beelzebub means Lord of the Flies, and basically God goes also back to like English. You'll see the translation as a gadfly or a person that gads about. Gadfly is something that a fly that bites livestock and it bites very terribly. Somebody gads about is somebody who goes around looking for fun tirelessly and annoys people. Um, yeah, so he it says he goes to and fro on the earth, searching tirelessly, wandering for or and he goes about like a lion seeking whom he may destroy. Job talks about like how he went with son, the sons of Elohim up to the throne, and the Most High Yah asked him, "Where have you gone?" And he said, "From going to and fro on the earth, from going up and down, basically wandering around." And I mean, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And so you see that directly, if you look in the Strong's number, Strong's Concordance, number 954, it talk about how Beelzebub is another name for Satan. Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies. Or so gadding about God, uh, God is for the Lord of Flies, um, the gadfly which bites, and you translate that to Gad in Hebrew, which is fortune, somebody who goes gadding about. Then you see that calling the Most High Lord God is actually saying the Lord of Fortune, and you're not praising the Most High, but you're actually praising the devil. And I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on, even about how people in the church, they refuse truth, absolutely refuse truth, and they don't even want to stop eating pork. When Isaiah 65 1 through 5 talk about those people who go in their backyards and do all this hoodoo voodoo witchcraft stuff, and then they eat swine, and it will say to you, "Do not come near me, for I am holier than thou," um, or holier than you. And I mean, I know many people, especially in places like New York, in many places like Haiti, voodoo. I mean, Haiti and New Orleans where they do voodoo, and